we are in Mobile, Alabama. Came in yesterday, as you would have seen. Very windy night, had lots of rain. On our way to New Orleans this morning. Hopefully the wind dies down even more as it has. As you can see behind me, that's Highway 10 that we came in on. And I'm sure the video shows how windy it was when we came into the park. Hopefully you can hear me through the wind. It's a very nice state park. They're expanding it. It's probably going to be twice the size by this time next year for sure. Could be scary. I haven't seen any alligators or snakes. That's a good thing. We were nice and close to the bathhouse where we were supposed to take shelter last night if required. Of course it wasn't.
Exit right to I-10 West toward Mobile.
We are entering the George Corley Wallace Tunnel. Built in 1941, it was built in sections and then floated to the proper position and sunk. It is about 50 feet below the high water of the Mobile River and is just over 3,400 feet long, or 1 kilometer. So most mornings while we're in New Orleans, we stopped at the Cafe De Monde. Apologize for the pronunciation. And had a coffee and beignet. Took me a while to figure out exactly what we were getting. So this is the infamous Cafe De Monde, and we're getting a coffee and a Creole.
And a what?
Coffee and a Creole, it's called.
Oh, I thought it was a danae.
A what?
I thought it was a danae or something.
I thought it was coffee. It could be.
I don't see it on there.
It is crazy busy. Beignet. Beignet. Okay. No, man, don't video you. Thank you. Beignet. Okay. So it is a pastry covered in icing sugar, and the coffee has a chocolate taste to it. Very excellent.
Tour is shown. My name is Tamara, your tour host, and we are leaving stop number 1. And up ahead, across the street on the left corner, the gated area, is Jackson Square. This is the heart of the city. It's where everything began back in 1717. And then it was dedicated to Major General Andrew Jackson in 1851. When we get in front of the square, you'll see in the center of it a statue of Andrew Jackson on horseback tipping his hat. That was erected in 1856. In the back center of the square, the three-spired building, is a beautiful St. Louis Cathedral. That is the oldest continuously operating Catholic cathedral in the United States. There are museums on either sides of the cathedral. There's 7 a person, 6 for seniors, closed only on Mondays. Coming up on our right of the green and white awning is Cafe De Monde, which means coffee of the world. And that's where you get your beignets and cafe au lait. If you'd like to watch them make the beignets, go around the back in the big window. There are French fluffy donuts covered with lots of powdered sugar. Literally inhale or exhale whenever you take a bite. Cafe au lait is coffee with chicory, which is the root of the indole plant roasted and ground, and it leaves a chocolatey taste in your mouth. They mix that brew half and half with cream and milk. So if you think about it, one more time, coffee au lait with steamed milk, that's the trick. And it'll never taste the same. Coming up ahead on our left, this next pavilion, I call it culinary pavilion. Not only can you get your fresh produce here, you can also get quality beignets, crawfish-filled beignets, alligator and stick, alligator jerky, po' boys. There's all kinds of coffee in here. There's an oyster bar, hot roasted corn, snowballs, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. If you're not hungry, we can take a walk through here. We'll make you hungry, believe me.
French market, so do you want to head down to the end and see what there is, or are you hungry? Well, it's a busy place.
Right is Armstrong Park, dedicated to Louis Armstrong. Before Mr. Armstrong was ever even born, all of this property was called Congo Square. And Congo Square was where the enslaved of the city were allowed to come on Sundays to do their voodoo, singing, dancing, and socializing with friends and family that they had been separated from at the time of their enslavement. This is under Code Noir. If you want to look it up, it means Black Code, and it was while we were under French rule. And very interesting, a long code, but if you want to look it up, definitely do so. If you get an opportunity, walk through Armstrong Park. There's a whole lot in here, and there's a lot of signage, so you'll know exactly what you're looking at. I see the azaleas are blooming. See the little pink flowers on a couple of the bushes here? They're just starting. Forward, stop number 5, which is the Basin Street Station. Basin Street Station used to be part of the Southern Railway system, so if you go inside, you'll see a beautiful display of train station memorabilia. We also have clean public restrooms, a gift shop, a cafe, an 18-room hotel, and it's where you can purchase your St. Louis No. 1 Cemetery walking tour tickets. St. Louis No. 1 Cemetery. That is the oldest active cemetery in the city, established in 1789. Contrary to popular belief, there are many underground burials in this cemetery, along with the above-ground burials. In the corner, you see family tombs. In the back, with the statues on top, are some of these society tombs. This is the final resting place of Marie Laveau, the Queen of Voodoo, and Nicolas Cage has a tomb in here as well for future use. And as we pass the entrance to the cemetery, look how wide this wall is right here to the right, guys. These are the oven or wall vaults, right here to the right. Born in the Louisiana Territory before 1803, when the Louisiana Purchase was signed. It didn't matter if you were French, Spanish, West African, Haitian, or any combination thereof, you were considered Creole or firstborn. When we talk about Creole food, it does have West African and Haitian influence, and the base is rice and tomatoes. So jambalaya is considered Creole, although there is a Cajun form of the dish, and gumbo is Creole as well. But the word gumbo by definition means okra. There was no okra on this entire continent before the West Africans came. They brought the seeds, they planted them, and it became like a staple item. They were putting it in all kinds of dishes, including the soups, which took on the name of gumbo. So today, guys, if there is no okra in your gumbo, it is just soup. So no buses were coming. It took 6 days for that water to go out of the city, and then the buses came. And he also had it manufactured right here in this city. Now that Higgins boat is the boat that the front flapped down onto shore. Standing soldiers could run out, rolling equipment could roll out, and they could take care of the business at hand immediately. And this is why they say that the Higgins boat was the reason we won World War II at Normandy on D-Day. We are coming up to stop number 10. This is the World War II Museum. Do we have anyone hopping off at number 10? Yes, we do have some hopping off. If you don't already have your tickets, guys, and you go into the museum, grab those little brochures downstairs with the little This originally was called the Liverday Sugarcane Plantation, and back in the late 1700s, early 1800s, we did not have the levee system on the Mississippi River to our left that we have today. So that Mississippi regularly overflowed its banks. It killed the sugar cane, but it also deposited layers of silt and sediment in this area that made it rich and fertile for the beautiful foliage we see today. This, however, is not why we call this the Garden District. If you have a 2 or 3 day pass for the bus, make sure you take that Garden District walking tour at stop number 12. It is complimentary with that 2 or 3 day pass. If you only have a 1 day pass, just go ahead and upgrade, guys, before it expires, so you can take the Garden District and the French Quarter walking tour. It's like $4 maybe. Coming up on our left, we have Queen Anne Homes. The second one is condos. The third one sold a few months ago. 4 beds, 4 baths, and a swimming pool, $1.495 million. And that's very inexpensive in the Garden District. The next one up from there is John Goodman's house. It's listed at $5.6 million. We have little shotgun doubles here to our right. Stop number 12 is coming up. Do we have anyone hopping off? Y'all hopping off, ladies? Okay. We do have some hopping off at number 12. If you decide to take that Garden District walking tour, meet at the little red tent over here to the right. It's every hour on the hours, I believe.
These trees, before we go anywhere, these are called live oak trees. You probably have them in Florida too. They're not indigenous here. The Europeans brought them in throughout the South like 400 years ago. If you go to Charleston, you find some that are 400 years old. You go to City Park over here, we got some like 300 years old. These here, Stasma Arbors, French, only they're about 170 years old. And they're all protected by the government, man. So I ask you, how does she get to be 170 years old in a city that has Mardi Gras every year, bachelorette parties, and hurricanes? Just draw a tree. The root systems. See that? The city thinks they own that sidewalk. No! She owns the sidewalk. Now, I don't know about where you all live, but the city of New Orleans, they ain't fixing nobody's sidewalk. Oh no. If anybody's going to fix that sidewalk, if they choose to do so, it's going to be that family. And if they do, they're going to have to go over the roots. So mine just said as we go through. Now, we're supposed to have a good rain in the morning. Really cheap. To go past the universities up here, upriver, and you're going to pass some big mansions. Those mansions were built at the turn of the 20th century, like the same era as Beverly Hills. So the wealth started here, went up through. Okay, so this house right here, This was built, house. This was built 1860 by Thomas Wharton. Now, Thomas, when he came here with his plans, he had to go to Canal Street. So in the middle of Canal Street on both sides is the median, right? Well, you know what they call that here? The neutral ground. Yeah. And that's where you have to bargain with the Creoles, because the Creoles were the skilled craftsmen to come and build these, okay? So this one, get ready, they call this a raised American cottage. It's not so much cottage. And it's not raised because of floods. The only time that I know that it flooded on this side of canal was in 1816 when that river broke and killed all the living sugar. It's raised so the wealthy people can show you their dominance. And when you're walking by, you do what this young lady was doing. You're looking up and they're looking down. So here we go. It's raised. The door center, hallway, parlors on either side. If it has a second floor, hallway bedrooms on either side. Those long windows, the French call those guillotines. They go from the ceiling to the floor. Okay, whenever you see these long windows, automatically you should know that inside the ceilings are really high. In this case, over 16 feet high, hot air rises, man. That's how they dealt with the heat. So you open up, you manipulate your windows, circulates the air right on out. That's all about it, okay? And you might be in a restaurant, it's all over New Orleans, that's what it is, okay? Now,
No doors on the second floor, because that's where you were taxed, but you can get out onto the balcony through the windows.
Isn't that beautiful? Now, this house was featured in the motion picture, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Yeah, there it is, man. Now, while you're taking that picture, you see this block, ladies?
Sandra Bullock's house, willed to her son.
Okay, this cat entered this city probably about 1890, somewhere.
Has the extra toes.
Yeah.
Like the Key West toes.
Yeah.
He's mad because he can't get through this yet.
Okay, guys, look. You see the big mansion behind us?
Yeah.
That was built at the turn of the 20th century. It's Art Deco, okay? This is 6,000 square feet. The man that owns this took 8 years to restore all the inside and the outside back to its original glamour. 2 summers ago, he had a grinder in the front yard grinding out angles and all to put a brand new slate tile roof on top of that. You know how much that rooftop cost him? $160,000, dude. And of course, when you got stone, you gotta have copper, man. Isn't that beautiful? Those steps there, those were imported from the great state of Georgia. The Georgia what? Stone Mountain. Okay? Now that ball right there, not the horse head, but that ball right there is where the butcher man and the produce man used to tie up early in the morning. You could literally make groceries for your kitchen back in the day. That's what those has red in it. The lighter blues have green in it. These are blend. Those colors are all up in that sky, but we don't see them, but critters do, and they won't build their nests underneath there because they think that's the sky. Originally, this blend was to ward off evil spirit before it enters the threshold. It's called paint blue. Okay. Here we are, Florida. This is your upside down planet.
We know what happens in that.
But look.
City of New Orleans, founded in 1717 by a French Canadian named Bienville. We'll see his statue in a few minutes. Look over to the right.